Hello everybody, as you can see I'm with the great Marco Minnemann.
Who? Oh, that's me, okay. Hi.
He accepted to be a guest of the Drum Brother, and we're gonna have a nice interview and nice chat with him now.
Good morning.
So Marco, I was completely blown away by your DVD when I saw it some years ago, and I really learned a lot from your concept of playing on vamps.
Mm-hmm.
How did you develop that, and has it something to do with your playing other instruments also?
Yes, very much. I want to address this to all the people out there because I started playing guitar at the same time I started playing drums. And before I even played guitar, when I was 5 years old, I started playing organ, two-manual organ with foot bass. That's why I came up with all this kind of, hi-hat patterns and all this stuff, I guess, because
stuff.
I always, to me it was always more listening to music, to the bands, rather than listening to certain drummers. And that's kind of strange because people always ask me like, who are your influences? And I always said like, well, I listen to Frank Zappa's music, and my favorite bands were Queen, or still are, and Led Zeppelin, The Police, and Miles Davis, and Zappa, of course, and all this kind of stuff. And when I started writing my own music, I heard these hi-hat patterns actually in my head, and I thought like, well, if people play this with their hands or in a double, kick, or like have two kick drums, why don't I try like playing a paradiddle or like a double paradiddle, between like kick drum and hi-hat, and then put other stuff on top. I want to spill the coffee here, Okay, but and then I tried to first of all play it, on the regular drum kit, and then kind of thought like, well, what if I put like a gong drum over here and use it as a kick drum replacement or something like that, and then play like just all the other patterns just with hi-hats, between hi-hats, and then that opened a whole another universe. And meanwhile, I'm able to incorporate it also into band playing, as you could have heard with the Aristocrats.
Yeah.
And it works. It works quite musical. It was a long way. It took me years and years. It took me over 15 years to be that comfortable that I just sit behind the drum set and go like, okay, let's make it sound good.
How can you make that musical, though?
Well, you mean that concept?
Yeah, I mean,
I think
you obviously can do it really well. Some people get caught into the mad stuff.
Oh, that happens to me all the time, but meanwhile I kind of know where to go or where I want to go. It's like, at some point it was like not only the decision to play these patterns, but also to pick first of all the right instruments, that I want to hear, and kind of place them actually the right way as well. I'm doing this right now so you can see me still here. For example, I kind of decided on some of my older videos or DVDs, you can see that I had like a little foot snare on the side, or I had like, whatever, like maybe a cowbell or some other, stacked cymbals. And then I looked at the DVD and then I thought like, well, you know what? I actually don't like that sound at all. So I got rid of that foot snare and I thought like, well, I'm pretty much a rock drummer. And I love being a rock drummer. I'm like a rock drummer with like other influences, with like, capacity or something like that. I don't know, but I'm interested in the technical aspect, and I want to, kind of spread it out as much as possible, but always use it like in a very musical way. But I'm more of a guy, like when it comes down to the point, I like a cracky snare drum, a fat kick drum, and melodic toms, and cutting cymbals, and I'm pretty much a player that likes to play everything on a rock sound, more like a rock sound.
Yeah.
Just love it. And so basically my setup is still like, 13-inch hi-hat here, 14-inch hi-hat over here. I got rid of the 8-inch, sometimes I play it, that I used to have over here. Then I stripped down my cymbals as well. I have usually like 5 cymbals, splash over here, crash over there, another crash over here, another china or a crash over here, and a right cymbal over there. Yeah. And 5 toms, which is like 8, 10, 12, or sometimes I use like 10, 12, 8. Meanwhile 16, 18, and a 22-inch gong drum, and sometimes double kick. Either way, like when I play with a metal band, like 2 times 24. We did this with Eddie Jobson with UK with that band, so we play like, basically 2 24-inch kicks. It just looks great and sounds good and it's just cool. But I'm fine also like with the 22 or 23-inch that DW makes actually, with like a double pedal. So that's fine too. Yeah.
Awesome.
But your question was actually how to make it sound musical then.
Yeah.
So first of all, pick like the instruments And then again, kind of, you know, make it sound musical. That's all up to you. You know, like I can play the most complex pattern and make it sound like boring or something like that. You know, like if I would play like let's say whatever, throw something at me, or let's say like 3/16 groupings or whatever, like something like that. And I have like, let's say like, you know, 2 different groupings of that. Like let's say the first one plays. The second one, let's say, plays the off. So we have like. And then we have like, let's say, with a kick drum, let's say like a boom, 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 So, you know, if I want to kind of make it more, sound more melodic, you know, I kind of go over the toms. Screw something up here. That's the one. You know, just, you know, try to kind of, you know, get some flow and some groove going, and then kind of, you know, bring it to the instrument and kind of, you know, create some patterns. It's like writing a song, you know.
Yeah.
You just do that, you know, and it's the same, you know, with my patterns that I do you know, do with my feet. So I would come up with let's say a pattern. Let's you know, create something on the spot, like blah, single drag or something like that, or like, oh my God, let's see, these are the things, you know, just creating on the spot, and this is what I love, you know. Sometimes I totally mess it up, and you will witness it. Sometimes it works. So let's see, like. Let's bring that to the feet, for example. Then you try to put something on top and kind of create a melody, maybe like even like, you know, like a modulation thing, 3/4 or whatever. Anything that sounds good. It's even like a challenge now to play in this drum kit, you know. Just have to, you know,
yeah.
I'm not used to play that. We had this today in the clinic, and it was actually really fun. But you know, this is what it's all about. I think really creating. Let's just put like a rhythm cue. Stuff like that, you know. I try to kind of, you know, build it up slowly, you know, and then kind of, you know, like, you know, add one element to the other and kind of make it, you know, an entire bulk of patterns, you know, that kind of come together in a musical composition way. It's like playing a guitar chord or something like that, you know, and kind of strum it nicely.
Actually, you know, man, your approach to music really inspired me, and I built a whole system of myself on playing on odd times.
Oh,
thanks
awesome!
To your way. No. Thanks to your way that I saw in that DVD. So
thank you.
I'm really thankful.
Thank you very much.
And I love you having here now and seeing you play. You know.
Oh, thank you. Well,
that's awesome.
My pleasure. I always like playing.